Professor William Smith rips Linda's note card in half, lets the pieces fall like snow, grinds them under his heel. 200 years. That's how long the greatest minds failed to crack the Goldstein conjecture. But tonight at Princeton's public math night, a 15-year-old black girl named Linda James thinks she's found the answer. Smith doesn't even look at her math. He looks at her clothes, her age, her background. Newark Public Schools, mother's a janitor here. Probably snuck in while Mama was mopping floors. This is what happens when we lower standards. The room erupts, laughter like thunder. 800 people, phones out recording, some pointing at her. Linda stands anyway, voice quiet. Sir, I believe it can be solved. Have you ever been called stupid by someone who never even gave you a chance? If this story already has you hooked, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. You won't want to miss what happens next, trust me. This is Princeton Public Math Night, free event open to the community. The university throws it every year for good publicity, donors love it, local papers cover it, makes Princeton look accessible. Tonight, 3 professors present on impossible problems, problems so hard they humiliate geniuses. Smith chose the Goldstein conjecture, a puzzle from 1823, 200 years old, over 60 published proofs. Every single one contained fatal errors. Most mathematicians now believe it simply cannot be solved with current tools. Smith has built his reputation on this belief. He spent 10 years trying to crack it in his 30s. Failed. Wrote a famous paper titled The Limits of Human Knowledge. Made his career on accepting defeat gracefully. He's been department chair for 15 years. Controls funding, controls hiring, controls who gets to call themselves a real mathematician. 800 people pack Richardson Hall tonight. Students, parents, high school kids hopping to impress admissions, wealthy donors, local press, 3 livestream cameras feeding to 73,000 viewers online. Linda sits in the back row. She wasn't supposed to be here. Her mother, Diane James, works the night shift, cleaning crew, 6 in the evening until 2 in the morning, $43.50 per shift after taxes. Linda often comes with her, does homework in empty classrooms. Nobody notices a quiet black girl with a backpack in the corner. 3 months ago she wandered into a calculus lecture, just curious, sat in back. The professor never asked for ID. She came back the next week, then the next. She's attended 17 Princeton lectures this semester. Nobody ever stopped her. Tonight she saw the poster, Public Math Night, free admission. She thought maybe, just maybe, she could ask a question during the open session. She wrote her question on a note card, waited in line with the other attendees, submitted it to the moderator. Smith read it, looked at her name, looked at her seat, looked at her clothes, and decided to make an example. Linda is 15, sophomore at Newark Central High, takes the bus 90 minutes each way. Her school has no advanced math program, no calculus, no statistics. The newest textbook is from 2009, she teaches herself. Library books, YouTube videos, MIT OpenCourseWare on her phone at 3 in the morning. She discovered the Goldstein conjecture 6 months ago, read the original paper. It was written in German. She taught herself enough German to read it. The problem fascinated her, not because it was famous, because everyone was asking the wrong question. She's been working on it every night, filling notebooks, testing ideas. She thinks she found something, a way in, a door nobody else saw, but she's never told anyone. Who would believe her? Tonight, she thought maybe she could ask one question, get one piece of validation, just a crumb. Instead, Smith read her name aloud, mocked her background, ripped up her question, made 800 people laugh at her. Now she's standing. Everyone is staring, phones recording. Her mother is watching from the side door in her cleaning uniform, tears streaming down her face. The Goldstein conjecture has destroyed careers for 2 centuries. Johann Goldstein, a German mathematician, posed it in 1823. A simple question about prime number distribution in polynomial sequences. Can we prove a predictable pattern exists, or prove that no pattern can exist with current mathematical tools? Sounds innocent. It's not. 63 published attempts at proof. Every single one collapsed. Brilliant minds spent decades chasing it. Felix Hartmann, 1847, published a 200-page proof. Flaw found on page 197. Hans Mueller, 1901, claimed breakthrough. Error discovered within 6 months. The conjecture became a graveyard. Mathematicians whispered about it like a curse. Touch it, lose years of your life. Some went mad trying. Others gave up mathematics entirely. It was different. He was 28, ambitious, fearless, believed he could crack what 2 centuries couldn't. Spent 10 years, his entire 30s, consumed by it, published 17 papers, each claiming progress. Each retracted after peer review found fatal flaws. His colleagues started avoiding him. Conference invitations dried up. Tenure was delayed twice. His wife left him. He was becoming the cautionary tale, the obsessed fool who couldn't let go. Then in year 10, something changed. He stopped trying to solve it. Instead, he wrote a paper arguing why it couldn't be solved, the limits of human knowledge, published in Annals of Mathematics. The argument was brilliant. Mathematical problems exist that are fundamentally unsolvable with current frameworks. The Goldstein conjecture was one of them, not because mathematicians weren't smart enough, because the tools didn't exist yet. Maybe wouldn't exist for centuries. Accepting impossibility wasn't defeat, it was wisdom. The paper made him famous: interviews, speaking tour, book deals. Princeton offered him department chair within 2 years. His entire reputation, his career, his legacy built on one foundation. The Goldstein conjecture cannot be solved. If someone proves him wrong, everything crumbles. His famous paper becomes a joke. His decade of failure no longer looks like noble pursuit, just failure. The position, the respect, the authority, all of it rests on that problem staying unsolved. That's why he's not just dismissing Linda, he's terrified of her. Because if a 15-year-old girl from Newark cracks it, William Smith becomes the man who gave up too soon. The man who built a throne on impossibility and called it brilliance. The man who was wrong. Smith turns back to the podium, dismisses her with a hand wave. Security, please escort this young lady out. She's disrupting a private academic event. 2 security guards start moving toward her row. Then a voice cuts through the room. Williams, she submitted a question during open forum. You can't remove her for asking a question. Professor Raymond Clark, visiting scholar from Stanford, one of the panel guests, a black man in his 60s, one of only 3 black mathematics professors in the Ivy League. Smith's jaw tightens. Raymond, this isn't a question, this is a disruption. Clark stands, walks to the microphone, looks at Linda. What's your name? Linda's voice shakes. Linda James, sir. Miss James, you said you believe the Goldstein conjecture can be solved. Why? The room goes quiet, waiting. Smith interrupts. Raymond, we don't have time for this. She's a child. She doesn't understand what she's talking about. Clark doesn't break eye contact with Linda. Miss James, why do you believe it can be solved? Linda takes a breath, because everyone's been answering the wrong question for 200 years. Smith laughs, sharp, cutting. Oh, this should be good. Please enlighten us. What question have Gauss and Euler and Riemann been answering wrong? Linda doesn't sit down. Doesn't look away. Goldstein didn't ask if prime numbers follow a pattern in polynomial sequences. He asked if we can prove that no pattern exists. Those are 2 completely different questions. The room murmurs, some confused, some interested. Dr. James Mitchell, guest panelist from MIT, leans forward. Smith's smile vanishes. You're playing word games, that's not mathematics. It's not word games, sir, it's the foundation. Everyone's been trying to find the pattern. But Goldstein's original question was whether we can prove the pattern is impossible to find with current methods. And if we can prove that, then we know we need new methods. Clark nods slowly. Williams, she's describing metamathematics. Proof of unprovability. Smith's face reddens. She read the English translation and misunderstood it. The original German is very clear. Linda's voice is steady now. I read the original German, sir, from the rare books room, 3rd floor. Shelf M43. Handwritten 1823. The word he used was unvorhersehbar, unpredictable, not non-existent, dead silence. Smith stares at her. You read the original German manuscript? Yes, sir, I taught myself German to read it. Mitchell stands up. Wait, she's right about the translation. I've read the original too. The English version from 1962 changed the meaning slightly. Smith turns on Mitchell. James, don't encourage this. She's a high school student who wandered off the street. She's a high school student who taught herself German to read a 200-year-old mathematical paper. That's more than most of my grad students do. The room's energy shifts. People whispering, some nodding. Smith sees he's losing control. His face hardens. Fine, you're so brilliant, Miss James. Prove it right now. Come up here. Explain your revolutionary insight to everyone. You have 10 minutes. Clark steps forward. Williams, that's not fair. She's 15. She hasn't prepared a presentation. She came here to challenge 200 years of mathematics. Let her challenge it. 10 minutes. If she's right, I'll publicly apologize. But when she fails, she leaves permanently. And she writes a public letter apologizing for wasting everyone's time. Linda's hands shake. This is a trap, she knows it. 10 minutes to explain months of work in front of 800 people, live-streamed, recorded. If she fails, she's not just wrong. She's the example, the cautionary tale, the diversity case who proves Smith right. Her mother's voice cuts through. Baby, you don't have to do this. Diane James steps forward, still in her uniform, cleaning gloves tucked in her belt. Linda looks at her mother, at Clark, at Smith's smug face, at 800 people waiting for her to fail. She walks toward the stage. I accept. The room erupts again, but different this time. Not laughter, anticipation, phones up recording, livestream viewers jumping from 73,000 to 112,000. Smith smiles, hands her a marker, points to the massive whiteboard. 10 minutes, starting now. A countdown appears on the screen behind her. 10 minutes, 0 seconds. The clock starts, but then Clark interrupts. Williams, wait, not tonight, give her 1 week. Let her prepare properly, then bring her back. Let the panel evaluate it fully. Smith turns to Clark, voice ice cold. Raymond, you can't be serious. We don't run a charity here. I'm completely serious. She's demonstrated a novel approach. She deserves a fair evaluation. She's demonstrated nothing. She drew some circles and invented a fancy name. Mitchell stands. Williams, I've been doing number theory for 25 years. Her translation insight is sound. At minimum, it's worth investigating. The room buzzes. Students whispering, donors watching, cameras recording everything. Smith sees he's cornered. If he refuses now, he looks afraid, like he's blocking her because he knows she might be right. He forces a smile. Fine. 1 week, Miss James, you'll present a complete proof, not a framework, not a philosophy lecture. A full, rigorous, verifiable proof of the Goldstein conjecture. There are conditions. 1. The proof must be complete. Every step shown, every assumption justified. No hand-waving. 2. She presents it here in this hall before an expanded panel of 5 judges. 3. If even one judge finds a logical flaw, the proof is rejected. And Miss James agrees to never again claim she solved it. Clark interrupts. Williams, that's excessive. These are the standards we hold for anyone claiming to solve a 200-year-old problem. Or do you think we should lower them just for her? The trap is obvious. Linda sees it. Clark sees it, but there's no way out. Dean Margaret Foster steps forward. Dr. Smith, I'll chair the panel. I'll ensure the evaluation is fair. Smith's smile doesn't reach his eyes. Of course, Margaret, completely fair. He turns back to Linda. So, Miss James, do you accept these terms? 1 week, complete proof, 5 judges, 1 flaw and you're done. Linda looks at her mother. Diane's face is streaked with tears, shaking her head slightly. Don't do it, baby. Don't let them hurt you again. Linda looks at the countdown clock, still frozen at 10 minutes, the moment she stopped explaining and started defending herself. I accept. Within 20 minutes, video clips are everywhere. Teen challenges Princeton professor on 200-year math problem. By midnight, the main clip has 500,000 views. The hashtag trends, people taking sides. Most professional mathematicians say no politely. 200 years of failure means something. A few say maybe very quietly because if she's right and they dismissed her, they'll look foolish forever. Linda gets home at 11. Their apartment is 40 minutes by bus from Princeton. 1 bedroom. She sleeps on the couch. Her mother sits beside her, holds her hand. Baby, you don't have to do this. We can move, find another job. You can go to a different school. Linda shakes her head. Mama, if I don't do this, then every girl like me will keep getting treated like I got treated tonight. Someone has to show them we're not stupid. You're 15, Linda. This isn't your job. Then whose job is it? Diane has no answer. Linda opens her notebook. 7 days, 168 hours. She has half the proof done. The other half is still missing pieces. She starts writing. Day 1, Monday morning. Linda doesn't go to school. Her mother calls her in sick. Linda has the apartment alone. She spreads 17 notebooks across the floor, 6 months of work, every dead end, every breakthrough. The core problem is clear. She needs to prove the boundary exists. The moment where discrete becomes continuous, where local becomes asymptotic, but frameworks don't win. Proof wins. She works until 3 in the morning, sleeps 2 hours, continues. Day 2, Tuesday. Her best friend Maya shows up with food. You look like death. Linda barely looks up. I'm fine. When did you last eat? Linda can't remember. Maya makes her eat, sits across from her. Explain it to me. Maya, you wouldn't understand. Then make me understand. Pretend I'm 5. Linda sighs, but explaining it simply reveals gaps in her logic, places where she assumed things she hadn't proven. Maya can't check the math, but she can ask, how did you get from this step to that step? 3 times, Linda realizes she doesn't have a good answer. 3 holes. She stays up until 5 fixing them. Day 3, Wednesday. Linda goes to Princeton Library. Needs the original Goldstein papers, including damaged sections. She uses her mother's employee ID for the rare books room. The librarian recognizes her from the video. You're that girl. The librarian smiles. 3rd floor, take your time. Linda photographs every page. Margins, crossed out sections, faded parts. She notices something. Page 31. Goldstein crossed out a paragraph heavily, black ink obscuring everything. She holds it to the light, barely makes out words underneath. Latin, 1 sentence. Quod probari non potest, demonstrari potest. What cannot be proven can be demonstrated. Her heart stops. Goldstein knew 200 years ago. The proof was impossible with his era's mathematics, but he left a path, a breadcrumb for someone with better tools. Linda photographs it, runs home, rewrites her entire approach, not trying to prove the pattern exists, proving that the absence of pattern can be demonstrated through boundary analysis. Goldstein wasn't asking for proof, he was asking for demonstration. The difference changes everything. She works through the night, filling page after page. The missing pieces start falling into place. By dawn, she has 70 pages, growing.